Okay, here we go again. Gonna get through the third course of day 2, and this is gonna be Carolina Shores by Terry Grayson. If I can get every damn thing searched out here. Um, as always, I'm gonna be playing with player clubs over tour clubs because I feel most CC players are actually going to play with player clubs, so it does me no good to play these with tour clubs. B, my scoring does not matter in relation to how the course is judged or whether it is deemed appropriate for CC or not. Sometimes I shoot well, sometimes I don't. So scores really are not the priority here. Looking at the courses and getting a feel for them absolutely is. And then finally, um, when I make comments about courses, if it's a technical issue, I will point it out as a technical issue. And as I've mentioned in other threads and streams, that the other judges are not going to say anything different than what a technical issue actually is. Other things are just my opinions. Whether it be things that can make the course look better or make it play better or whatnot, it's just my own personal experience as a designer kind of creeping in there and just seeing things from a different perspective. If there's something that you agree with and you agree with it, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. That being said, please don't come into the threads with an issue with it and raise hell or start sending me countless PMs, saying that I was unfair about what I had to say, because it's not intended that way at all. I try to be very respectful when I do these courses, and I appreciate the same respect back. Without further ado, let's go to Carolina Shores by Terry Grayson. I need to check this, see if he had any recommended tees and pins. I should just automatically start doing this before I actually look, but... I don't see anything where he's mentioned it. Yeah, he's just kind of leaving this up in the air for us, so guess we'll just use our best judgment, eh? So let's see, we've got 7206 from the blacks. Tell you what, let's play it from there. And we'll play pin 1. Might make for some long shots here and there, but this will give me an idea to evaluate it on both the CC Pro and CCM kind of level, because I'll be able to search out and kind of look and see where landing zones are if we move up a tee. That's what happens when you don't tell us what pins you want on tees you want played, fellas. Please always edit your original post in your thread to let the judges know what you want played. Otherwise, it's our discretion. So this is... what was the last one we did? Was it, I started to say Pillsbury. Pausberg, I believe. Yep, I believe so. Oh, imagine that. We're still at 14-mile-an-hour winds. Whew. So from this tee, this puts this in our landing area. 1 tee forward probably allows us to hit over the top of it. So let's see what happens here. We got a fast swing. Imagine that. I was about to be a little bit pissed if that one actually bit me. Yeah. Yep, today is not my day to play, apparently. But I expect it on tropical and highland courses. It's just kind of the norm. So we got 190 into this. Nice bunker there on the right. Wish we would have raised the back of the bunkers on these two bunkers back here. Would have helped this hole out quite a bit. Right now it just flattens off into nothing. You have a nice waterfall over there to the left. But I got the bridge going out across there. Kind of a neat feature. Interesting. Everything's interesting except this 15-mile-an-hour crosswind. Not crazy about that. Fuck. Yep. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do anything about the fast swings because if I change my tempo, then it's going to go slow. That's a normal, regular swing that I hit every single time, so I don't have a clue as to why it's doing that on me. $175 on the greens. So good looking opening hole right there. That's a good hole to get people kind of into the round a little bit. Nice waterfall feature. A cool little shot over the waterfall. And this, you have to be very careful how you do this though. Otherwise, it comes off fantasy. Do try to avoid the fantasy looks. I think these greens, are they firm? That took a big hop right there. Did you give me firm greens, Terry? Let me go down and check it really quick. He may have listed there. Da, 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 da. Green firmness, 0.75. Yep. He gave me firm greens. Okay. Okay, let's get back to it. What's up, Clint? This is Carolina Shores by Terry Grayson. Well, that's a trickier putt than what it looks like here. Yep. Puts it too far out. I thought I was going to break more than that, but it didn't. That 5 inches downhill, that was not a hard hit on my end of it. Fuck. Oh, I thought I missed that putt too. Because it showed right to left break, but it didn't break. It just barely snuck in the outside edge of the cup. Yeah, he took somebody's place. Oops, sorry, I killed the flyover on it. Yeah, I switched it up to PS4. I was on PC all yesterday, and then last night I switched over so Aces and Dan could join me in or join in on the streams. So I just left it there this morning. A tight landing area. Not a bad look off the tee box here, but tight landing area. not even waiting until the middle round to start getting fast here, are we? Man, I used to make these with regularity, but for whatever reason, my last 2 weeks, I am starting to miss these more and more. And it's so far in my head right now. Those putts are becoming a mental thing. I am not got those dialed in. Yeah, that's far a pretty solid looking tropical course. I like how I tied the beach in with a couple of these bunkers here. It was a nice touch, in my opinion. I would actually like to play a course today with decent winds. This, I think 13 miles an hour, where I'm currently at, might be my lowest winds of the day. I don't know that I've had a shot less than that. Like it if this back lip of this bunker is raised up another foot. That would be just about perfect right there. Like the placement. I mean, he can get gigged a little bit on just using a single bunker brush. Now that apparently that's like one of his favorite brushes on this hole. We've got it 1, 2, 3 times right there. But you definitely pick out what brushes you use. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but a little bit of variety on those two brushes right there would have helped out a little bit. But that's nitpicking. But then again, that's kind of what we do, isn't it? So thus far, pretty solid design. Nice big green on this one. Plenty of places for pins. From this tee box, you can make that a 158 shot. You can stretch that out to damn near 170. 175 back in that back right and make it as short as about a 130. So it's a big green, but it works for me a little bit on this one. That's a funky texture right there, that green. That is weird. That is a texture I have not seen on a green in this game. For like it's being aerated. It's actually what it looks like if somebody's aerating the greens. uh, I either needed to hit that a little bit harder or needed to move the line on it. So that was not a good putt. Amazon with a special offer for me. I can get $20 off of something, but delete. That was a weird camera angle. I have some odd shapes to this fairway here. Kind of breaks up the flow to it a little bit. Ooh, boy. That's a 450-yard hole, too. So a bitch. Yeah, as we get down through this part right here, a couple of these little cuts out, we go from a curve right there into a straight line. And with like another camel hump coming out. It's a little bit, kills a little bit of the flow of the hole just from the overview. It's my opinion. I don't know about this one, fellas. I mean, obviously the playoff, this one is 3-wood. I just don't like taking driver out of somebody's hands when we start getting this kind of distance because that's going to be a long damn shot uphill into that next hole. And I really don't know where we land it with driver. I'll go driver and pray. That one's pinched a little bit too much for my taste. In this game, I mean, that worked in TGC 1, but that's almost a little bit too much of a pinch for a CC course especially. I don't mind having a small landing area when it makes sense to the hole, meaning that the hole's like 400 yards, 410, 420, but when you start getting up to 450, I mean, this is already a 171-yard shot right here into an elevated green, so you have to be careful on that one. And of course, we got a fast downswing. Of course. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. We just don't know when, ever. Yeah. Same thing here with some of the edging on the fairway. It's a little bit off with the matching up the brushes and such. It's not like a major deal, but it is stuff we notice in a design contest format. Ooh, I don't know what I'm going to do with this one either. 557. Well, shit, I guess all we can do is try it. Hope that wind brings it back to the left a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. It's a cool shot right there. Good use of the lighthouse. Oh, now stop. Now stop. Now stop. Now stop. Shit. Uh-oh. I made the wrong choice there. I should have clubbed down one more time and left that short. This is going to suck. Yep. Tell you what, in this game, this is a good way to take an automatic birdie right out of your hands. Oh, lovely. That should have been a birdie all day. That I'm coming into, I landed it short, hoping to just run it up there and it'd stop, but it apparently caught a slope and ran down. And I'll tell you what, you start getting to 40 feet away from the pin with 1 foot to 2 feet uphill, and it becomes pretty dicey. You're not doing yourself any favors. For me, anyway, it's a hard putt to judge. I always end up hitting them a little bit past. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. This is an automatic bogey coming up right here. And from bad to worse. Well, I'm surprised. Really didn't think I'd make par on this. Of course, I haven't yet because this putt will go all over the damn place. The 4-footer, you have to aim a cup and a half outside the cup. Yeah, the I'm liking the course. One of my first initial takeaways is this still has a lot of the TGC1 mindset of design into it. That's just my initial impression, but could have done himself a favor by showing this bunker off a little bit more. Raise that area up on the back side of the bunker, lower the front end a little bit. Helps this hole a lot instead of just dropping. I mean, you can kind of tell if they're there, but you're not doing your hole any favors from the look standpoint. Not doing it. Is what it is. I'm too prone to hit slow shots, so I can't actually play that the way it should be played, because if I loft that even a little bit, it's going to come up way, way short. It'll land in the bunkers. So I give up on trying to figure out this fucking swing. And that's just going to keep rolling down the hill. So and that has, whether it shows or not, pretty sharp break right in front of the hole. Well, fun times there. Speaking of societies, if you're on PC or PS4 and looking for something that's going to be fun to play, we are launching out the TGCT After Dark societies. So, like I said, I'll be doing one on PC, one on PS4. So, but it is a private club, so you do have to submit your name for approval. Not that I'm not going to approve people, but I want to know exactly who's in there. If I don't know somebody, then I'm probably not going to let them in. Since we're not actually able to remove people. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of TGC1 design elements on this. So he's kind of getting a little bit. It's a nice looking course. It's playing pretty straightforward right now, but we've got some pretty narrow landing areas, some odd things, and there you go, a little bit more movement here and there. Yeah, I mean that's been one of the things I'm looking at that I make a mental note of. The could have been cleaner on the fairway brushes on mixing them. I mean that's for some people it's important, for some people it's not. I tend to look at it pretty close, but that's just me. Of course, there's a lot of things I look at quite close that I'm not even mentioning on the streams, but. Have you guys noticed that every time I aim left, I hit fast? Every single time I aim left, I hit fast. Okay, take it easy, Reed. You what, guys? I had to step away for a couple minutes. I need to run the dog outside. It's been thunder, or we've had a thunderstorm going on. It just now quit raining, so let me run her out and let her take a pee really quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to take her out, otherwise I was going to have to clean that up later. So. Darcy, knock it off. Stop. Well, at least I planned for it that time. At least I planned for it that time. Long hole on this one. Everything is going to be fast from here on out, guys. Just live with it. Lord knows I do. Like I said, I give up on the tempo. I give up on the tempo. And unfortunately, because if I hit a perfect downswing, I have a slow backswing. I mean, you just can't dial in your distances and everything. It just doesn't work. So, good thing I really don't care about the scoring on this. I don't want to have a swing all over the place. That gets frustrating, but it's a weird camera overhead the way that's coming out. Yeah, I just saw your comment about splines, Clint. I mean, I've played around with them. I think the thing for me with the splines is that I like using them for my fairway. I hate using them for the light rough. Of course. He hasn't done necessarily a lot of planning in around some areas, but what he does have kind of fits. It's not overdone. In a few areas, he probably use a little bit more, but that's being pretty nitpicky. Oh, slow downswing that time. Okay. Alrighty then. Just don't know what to do on a swing anymore. I give up. Man. Tell you what, it's a pretty severe putt for a hole this distance. And you got 247 yards into a green. I realize it's a big green and everything else, but you catch a putt with this kind of break. I mean, even if you play to this side, that's not a gimme putt. Okay, Reed. Yeah, I'm going to say on this green, that's pretty severe for something this distance. I don't mind having some movement and everything else, but there's some really tough putts everywhere you look around this one. If I'm going to play something out this far, 240 yards plus for a par 3, I'm not going to try to kill somebody on a putt, but this one. That right there was me putting as much not to send it down the hill as it was to make the putt. If I make it, fine. I just don't want to leave myself with another 4+ feet coming back on it, because there's enough break right there. Even at 4 feet, that ball's going to move. Does not make it a gimme. So that's pretty rough green there for that distance there, Terry. Good looking hole, but those are things as designers you have to stop and think about where you're trying to add your difficulty to your hole. When you start getting into par 3s, whether it was TGC 1 or whether it's 2, you've got to keep it in mind. Reeb's giving me an invitation. Hey, what's up, Reeb?
Very little. Just watching
you. Yeah. Much to watch right now, man. This swing is brutal for me anymore.
Mine's not going to be any better.
I can't afford to aim left. I don't know what it is. It's been about the last 10 days. I'm not going to say it's the patch. I don't know if it is or not. I just know over the last 10 days where I was consistent on my swings, they're not anymore. I mean, it's just all over the damn place.
So you're swinging like most of us do in real life. Good job.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
I mean, I took a video of myself playing the other day, and you'd be hard pressed to copy mine. I'm so flat right now.
Well, up until today, what's been going on for me is I'll hit perfect, or slow perfect through 9 holes. And starting on or right after the 9th hole, swing just becomes a folding lawn chair. But today, it's been all over the place from the beginning. I mean, it may very well be me. I didn't think it was before because there was just too much coincidence. But today, it is just all over.
So I got a babbly 1-year-old here.
There you go.
So I don't know. If you hear random stuff, it's her.
I could have played that better. Too much loft on it, but these are firm, so I'm playing them as such.
Where are you headed next?
I don't know. Whatever's down there on the list. Just keep going.
Some other track. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the next one up is Burrowing Owl, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Here, I'll look to see what was next published anyway. What list are you looking at? Or are you just looking at the initial date of the
Yeah,
post?
I'm just kind of going by what's in the Showdown thread and then what I can deem best from memory. A lot of it has to do with memory.
So we're totally screwed then, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just up to my whim. They're all going to get played, so it doesn't matter. So anybody trying to guess what's coming up next, good luck with that. Missed a little bit of an opportunity on this hole to the left right there. Raising that bunker up a little bit on the back would have kind of set that off. Would have framed the hole a little bit better than what we have going here. A little bit smoother on that hill, I think, would have looked better as well. But just a personal preference.
thinking Sam's has got to be coming up pretty fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was the other one. I think it was between Sam's. Actually, I think you're right. I think Sam's would
I
be
think
the next
Sam was.
course.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking here.
I think Burrowing Owl may be above this course on the list, like right above it or like right there next to it. Or it's actually below it. Shit, I don't remember, man. Don't make me confused. This is such stressful.
It doesn't matter. You can play
There's
whatever
one
order
coming
you
up.
want.
Yeah, there's one coming up. We will be playing a course.
Oh, Clint, by the way, sorry, I just looked at your thing. No, she doesn't need a jump or anything. She's tootling around, just telling stories to everybody who cares to listen.
So the fact that Cole Allen actually said fidget spinner on my stream means that he is out in the first round. So thanks for participating.
Come on, Max. Come on. I'm gonna let a dog out here.
I have not caught on to the whole thing about the fidget spinners. I know my wife came in with like 8 of them one night. I know that my niece and nephews love the hell out of them. I know my grown-up 43-year-old best friend, when they were here on vacation, bought like 15 of them. What in the hell is the deal with the fidget spinners? I look at them and I'm like, really? And some of them aren't cheap. I mean, they're spending like serious money on some of those. And I'm like, this is dumb.
Yeah, skip the spinner. I'll tell you what. Have you seen? Because I liked to fidget when I was a kid. My son does too. The spinner wouldn't have been good. Have you seen those cubes?
Nah.
They got like different buttons and switches and like analog stick-looking things sticking out of them. They're just like these little 1-inch cubes. So you can just spin them around, and if you want to flip a switch, go ahead and flip it.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't pay attention to toys. Only adult toys, and I don't mean like adult toys like that. I mean like,
You knew that would come.
yeah, I had to catch that as soon as it came out of my mouth. I mean like Sea-Doos, laptops,
Somebody get
GoPros. Those are the kind of toys that
eggplant emoji incoming.
I'll tell you what, my impressions of so far, in general, is pretty clean. I really like the first few opening holes on this course. Greens all in all are pretty solid. There's one green that par 3 that I played a few holes ago. I wasn't crazy about it only because it's a pretty severe green with the side hill break on it for that distance. Once again, I'm not big on punishing a shot in there at a 247-yard par 3, so not to beat that horse to death, but
what tendencies have you seen so far? Because I know I've seen some like themes from all the courses pretty much.
Oh, I'd have to answer that before hitting this tee shot, so I don't interrupt my tee shot here. I think
Go ahead. Don't worry.
one thing, my initial take on it is that a lot of people are playing things safe. I feel like to a certain degree that when people start designing courses, they started trying to get into our heads as judges and figure out what we want to see versus what they should see, if that makes any sense. There's some very safe approaches to courses going on right now. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just one thing that I'm starting to notice. This may just be something because it's been in my own design. It's something that I've been had a heightened awareness about. But bunkers, where not necessarily placement, but the way people are choosing to blend them into the landscape is kind of bugging the crap out of me. Because people, they miss chances to either make the bunker look great and for it to be the hazard that it is, or to help frame and showcase the hole a little bit more. Like when we played the course before, the Posberg Dunes.
Yeah.
Smooth was in here, and I was telling him, just so many of them are buried. I mean, you just don't see them anywhere when you're hitting, and you want to usually at least see a sliver. Give the player a chance to see. It doesn't mean you can't have a hidden bunker here and there, but it should not be predominant across your course. It was the same thing with TPC Edgemere. this morning. He actually did some really good work with his placement and where they were. It had a very realistic feel about the course, but almost every bunker on the course was submerged and hidden from view. So it's not only
Even
a
on the pot
playability issue.
bunkers,
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't need to see the sand in a pot bunker, but at least the little knob on top. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
need to
Just
see the lip
there's
to let me
something
know
there.
there's something there. Exactly.
Well, the two things that I've noticed a lot are, and Clint, you'll appreciate this. People are getting crazy on green sizes. There are some huge greens on these courses, just way too big. And the other thing is, I think some people, maybe a few anyway, watched one video I did where I was talking about bunker spacing, giving your hazards a little room to breathe so they don't encroach on your textures, and they
Right.
took that way too far.
Yeah.
So you've got bunkers that look fine. It's just nobody will ever hit into them, and it's hole after hole after hole. I'm like, artistic license is one thing, but
Yeah.
you may as well just leave them out because they're a crutch right now. It's like, I'll put sand here instead of doing anything else interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, but I'm not going to lie. As a scheduler, I'd much rather see oversized greens than posted stamp greens with severe
Oh yeah.
sloping that you have no place to put 4 pins on they're ever going to pass to the Rangers. Because we've
Oh
had
no, I
that
totally
element
get
as
that.
well. So it's, I don't know. There's not an easy way to do it. It's just got to fit.
Hmm. Like I remember,
Every time I
can't
aim left,
remember
I have a fast downswing. I've
here,
just started
let's do it.
noticing that every time I aim left, my downswing is fast.
Yeah, Clint. So we can measure yours in yards instead of acres this time, huh? I didn't see. Was that fast, or did you just hit it over there?
There's a fast downswing. I
All
aimed
right.
left because of the wind, because I have 11 mile an hour crosswind, which is the lowest winds I've had today, actually.
Hmm.
And as soon as I did it, same swing I've been using, man, and I get a fast downswing. It happens every time I aim left. I'm starting to notice some tendencies here. So, and maybe
Clint,
it's
I'm
me,
I'm
but
sorry. I'm seriously thinking of doing that, putting some really tiny greens on a course and just going soft, like super soft. It takes balls, man.
my dude just got really excited about a fucking bogey. Some nice rock work up against the shore right here on this one. I kind of like the idea behind it. It's a little bit weird that if there's been more of it, I haven't noticed it before, but it does frame this hole nicely. So it's kind of a cool looking shot right there for a par three.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can now see things under the water, so putting the rocks in such a way that they're submerged is good too. Still toying with that idea too of a par three course with like on a coral reef.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've fiddled with it, but it's touchy. The lighting
Yeah.
has to be just right, or you can't see anything.
I should chip that. I thought I could sneak that in there with the putt, but I think chipping it, I probably would have been closer on my par putt here. Let's see what he's got in store for us with the 18th here.
Well, that allows you, Clint, to keep the underlying texture a little bit too, which has its uses. Like if you wanted to design a golf club in Houston right now.
No doubt. I feel bad for those guys.
Oh, it's
Whew.
brutal.
Big freaking green on this one for sure. It was kind of cool with what he did on the clubhouse on this. When it first came around the corner, I thought it looked like a cruise boat with the way that sticks up there. But as the first thing I thought of when I came around the corner, I mean, obviously it's just a clubhouse, but it's not horrible looking back there. So a little bit of time went into that. I can appreciate it. Pool area back there. So I don't get like major freaky about clubhouses on design contest.
Yeah, this one's a little wonky, but it's all right. I was with you. I thought there was like a ship back there.
Yeah, that's what it looked like when I came around the corner.
That's kind of a cool little thing, isn't it? That little lagoon thing over there.
Yeah. I mean, it looks wonky when you start trying to evaluate it, like each element as it is, but when you look at it from a distance, it works. I mean, for me, to me, it kind of fits the course, so I don't have a huge issue with it on that. Makes me think I need to do a cruise boat on something. I've got a really good idea for a tropical course. I just don't know when I'm going to get to it, or if it's going to be my next one. I've got 2 courses. I started to put a poll up to see what I should do next, because I've got one that will probably be Delta, may go Boreal, but I'm imagining it in Delta. The other one will be a tropical. One being the greens at 5 Ponds. That would be the Delta / Boreal course. The other being the Caribbean Players Club, which would be the tropical, or Cayman National. I got an idea for it too. I got lots of bad ideas.
Well, you're allowed to have bad ideas.
Hell, that time I didn't even aim left. I don't know how. I'm serious, Brian. I don't know how I'm getting fast downswings. I expected that one to be slow, just based on feel, and it said it was fast. Go figure.
Uh-oh. Somebody created a course. I'm just looking at it. It's called Hawkeye Stadium Course. So somebody in Iowa just made a course. It's probably terrible.
So, this was Carolina Shores by Terry Grayson. Tell you what, for a first playthrough, I actually really liked the course. Obviously, I've got a par 3 there that I've got an issue with, and I'm not going to lie and withhold it. That will come into judging a little bit. You're going to take a little bit of a slight hit on that hole because of it, but man, that's just knowing your thing. But outside of that, this is a really good, solid course. I can definitely see it on tour. Whether it be something like CC Pro or even an easier web week, I think it works. The fairway brushes could have been a little bit cleaner as you go around, and that was the other thing that stuck out my mind as far as the criticism. Oh, just the design elements itself. There were a lot of places this course had a feel of a TGC1 course, and as designers, we know that we have to kind of throw the book out on that and start designing towards this game. And that one still had some of the same angles and widths and things that you would have seen in TGC1 that don't translate as well to TGC2. I don't think they were extreme. It's still playable. It just makes for some pretty tight landing areas, or if you choose not to take them on, some 240-yard shots on your approach shots. So maybe not 240, but not too far off of either. There's one hole sticking out in my mind where it was you have to go down to at least 3 wood to avoid it, maybe even 5 wood depending on your wind, and then you've got an elevated green, and the hole plays over 450 yards. So as designers, we have to pick and choose where we're going to make our risk and where we're going to tighten our bottleneck our fairways and such up. I don't mind tight landing areas with the driver if it's your hole. Meaning elevation wise, if the hole's running downhill from your landing area to your green, you got a big enough green that's contoured to handle it, and it's not an excessively long shot. I know I had a hole like that on Rasputin that Reed will tell you I wrestled with over and over the 7th hole. I almost thought was unfair. Because with driver, the driver shot's there. Most people hit it. It's playing easier than I thought it was going to play. You just kind of have to bend it a little bit, hit a certain part of the hill, and then it rolls down the hill, and you get a really nice long drive out of it. But I did leave it with plenty of room at the top to hit a 3-wood off, and then you've got about a 206-yard shot into the green. 206, with it going downhill, I can live with, but I'm not going to force people into, 235 uphill kind of deal. So it's picking where you choose to punish and reward on that. Usually shorter holes that are anywhere from the 300 up to about 415, 420, you can pinch your landing spots with driver for sure. Because even if somebody goes 5-wood or even 3-iron off the tee, they still got a reasonable shot into it. It's not going to be an overly long shot at those distances. But when you start getting in these 450 plus yard holes, man, you got to be really careful. But this was Terry Grayson's call, Alan. But yeah, it's a really good solid course. So it sounds like I may have been mean on it here and there, but no more or no less than what I do for others. It's a good solid course. Yeah. It's good solid course, and look forward to see how this one does in the judging. So any final thoughts you want to add to it, Reed, before I close this one out?
Oh, no, I played this one, but it's been a while. I wasn't on for it. I just was kind of watching till the end. So we'll let your comment stand.
Gotcha. Yeah, Cole Allen, he took RJ Will's spot. So other than that, I'm going to close this one out. I'll be back in 2 to 5 minutes with the next one.